Karl Marx is one of the most influential thinkers in modern history, with his ideas on politics, economics, and society shaping the course of the 20th century. Marx was a German philosopher, economist, and political theorist who lived in the 19th century. His work was primarily focused on understanding the social, economic, and political conditions that shaped society, and how these conditions could be transformed to create a more equitable and just society. One of Marx's most important ideas was historical materialism. He believed that history was driven by material conditions and class struggle. Marx argued that the structure of society was determined by the mode of production, and that the relationship between the ruling class, the bourgeoisie, and the working class, the proletariat, was the key dynamic of society. Marx believed that capitalism was a temporary stage in human history, and that it would eventually be replaced by socialism and then communism. Marx's critique of capitalism was based on the idea of alienation. He argued that capitalism alienated workers from their work, their products, other people, and even themselves. Workers were reduced to mere commodities, and their labor was exploited for the benefit of the bourgeoisie. Marx believed that this led to a profound sense of disconnection and estrangement, as workers were denied the opportunity to realize their full potential and contribute to society in a meaningful way. Marx's theory of surplus value was also a key aspect of his critique of capitalism. He argued that the value of goods was determined by the amount of labor that went into producing them. However, under capitalism, the bourgeoisie extracted surplus value from workers by paying them less than the value of their labor, leading to exploitation and inequality. Marx believed that the only way to address this injustice was to replace capitalism with a socialist system in which the means of production were owned collectively and the surplus value was distributed more fairly. Marx also saw class struggle as the driving force of history. He believed that the struggle between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat was the key dynamic of society. Marx argued that the working class would eventually overthrow the bourgeoisie and establish a socialist society in which the means of production were owned collectively. He saw this as a necessary step towards communism, which he saw as the ultimate stage of human history. In a communist society, there would be no more class struggle, no more exploitation, and no more need for a state. Instead, society would be organized according to the principle of from each according to their ability, to each according to their needs. Marx's ideas on socialism and communism were controversial and have been subject to criticism and debate over the years. Some argue that his ideas were too idealistic and that they failed to account for the complexities of human nature and the challenges of implementing a socialist or communist system in practice. Others argue that Marx's ideas were too deterministic and failed to account for the agency of individuals and the potential for social change to come from sources other than class struggle. Despite these criticisms, Marx's ideas continue to influence the fields of economics, philosophy, and sociology today. His ideas on the dynamics of class struggle, the exploitation of workers under capitalism, and the potential for a more just and equitable society continue to resonate with many people around the world. Whether one agrees or disagrees with Marx's ideas, it is clear that his work has had a profound impact on the course of modern history and continues to shape the way we think about politics and society today.